To an extent, it has. Because the main thing the reason why I'm saying this is because I didn't realize I actually enjoy research this much until I actually came to college. During
Mm.
like my time at high school, it was just like a pretty normal high school life. Go to class, maybe do like a few clubs after school. So, but I was surrounded by a lot of people who did research in high school, and they told me like all these things and how much time they spent on it, and it made me curious. Like I definitely want to try it out, but I didn't feel like in high school. College was when I'm like, you know what? Why not? There's so much more opportunities now than back
Right.
in high school. So yeah, I would say to an extent it has.
I see. I see. And balancing research and academics, especially at college, is not something so easy. So could you share any time management or any study tips that you have to, balance such rigorous activities?
Um, Keep a planner. A lot of people like to use Google Calendar or some of other like tools. Like some people even use Slack. But
Mm-hmm.
I had an Excel file, or I made an Excel file with every single assignment's deadlines, every single thing that's due, and every single day I would just go on and look at it and see, okay, what do I have next after this assignment? And that's pretty much the only tip I can give. Is just keeping track. Have something written down. It could even be like a piece of paper. Write it down. Keep track of all the dates, and then like really just try to like think about how much time you have everything. Because a big issue I had before was time management in a sense where I would take up too much work and I wouldn't be able to get it done in time. So that's probably the main thing you would have to look out for. Just knowing how much you can handle. Don't challenge yourself into doing or thinking that you could do a lot of stuff. Try things at one at a time first, and then if you feel like you can add one more, go ahead. If not, stay with where you are right now. It's already a lot, and it's definitely not something uh, to be like, I guess, not proud of. Every single like even doing a bit of work is a lot.
100%, 100%. I think it should be important to, stay within your limits, not burn out yourself so that you can keep going
Yes.
every single day. That's quite important. Okay, and how did your high school experience prepare you for, such rigorous academics at Georgia Tech?
My high school was very academically rigorous. It's a very academic oriented school. Many of my peers were like, for instance, in high school there are like a lot of different types of class systems. Our school did AP
Okay.
and taking all these rigorous classes and going to all these different clubs and basically doing all these things at once while also trying to balance out like your life in school. Like once being in this type of environment for like 4 years is
Mhm.
basically like morphed me into being used to like very rigorous environments. Like I would say like Georgia Tech's like difficulty is like on par with my high school, maybe a bit more difficult, but
Wow.
because like we already have like this type of environment, like literally going to school like at 7 in the morning, so class starts at 7:30,
Right.
class ends at 3:30, but we stay there for clubs and activities, get back home around 8 o'clock at night,
Oh,
while also
wow.
balancing homework, studying for tests, all that stuff. Doing that for 4 years, has made us like kind of used to very like intensive environments. So because of that, coming to Georgia Tech, it was like okay, it's not too more difficult. It's I can handle it. It's like it gives us that type of feeling.
Interesting, interesting. And what challenges did you face during your high school experience?
Not knowing a lot of things. I'm first generation, so
Oh, wow.
first person in my family to ever go to college. My parents didn't go to high school actually, so it's like figuring out all these things for yourself, what to really do, and especially when there's no one else to give you advice. That was like
Mm.
probably the most difficult thing because there were definitely times where I regret not doing this, or I regret that I shouldn't have done some things that would have made me gone into like different colleges and stuff like that. Like college application was very tough, especially. But now looking back, it's like, all right, like I wouldn't have like changed any of my experiences because of this, like these things will forever stay with me in the head. All these lessons from the past.
It's quite interesting and honestly quite inspiring as well as a first generation student going to a university like Georgia Tech. It's quite an inspiring story. So congrats on that. Really proud.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
What inspired you to go into Georgia Tech? And what got you interested in its programs?